Hey,
Did it finally work? I'm sorry, Chi. It was going weird for a second.
لا
Hello.
عادي. How are you?
عاش من شافك انتي شو اخبارك؟
I
Let me
know,
just
I
fix
know,
the
all
camera.
good.
I missed you, girl. Wallah.
Yeah, and I كمان. Who would have thought I'd be seeing you live after last
I
time?
swear. It's been a long
So how
time.
have you
أولا
been?
انتي شو اخبارك؟
All good,
I'm good.
all good. And you?
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. All good, surviving with this pandemic. Changes both
Yeah,
professionally and, as an individual. But great,
I've been seeing the
all in
posts.
all.
I've been seeing the posts, so much information. I love it. طيب. So let's
Happy.
start. I'll give you a quick brief about HERway show. So welcome to HERway show. And I've been doing this for some time now, and it just keeps on getting more exciting. Super happy to have you in because you're like one of the badass women that I know out there, and you know that since day one. So through those online talk series, I'm just hosting women from different parts of the world who are willing to put themselves out there to share their experiences, their fears, their dreams, anything that can benefit society from a woman to the world. And I'm sure you have so much to share. We'll start with your way. So a quick brief about Amal, in case somebody who doesn't know her. So Amal is the first Emarati fitness coach, a parkour instructor, and a mother on top of that. I don't know how you manage that. Uh, so what happened? How did you get to where you are today?
Well, it's been a roller coaster, to be honest. So what happened was that 4 years after being in the corporate world, I decided to leave. I was a graphic designer for the longest time. I did it not only in like I was in a semi-governmental entity. I quit. I ended up going to a governmental entity, and I was freelancing. I started my own freelancing business. And from there, I don't know, I did it for 4 years. يعني ممكن I gave up completely, but it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
But that is how I went into more of my hobbies. Man, I still had my full-time job, but I decided to try more of my hobbies just to stay sane. And I think it's important to find that one thing that keeps you grounded. And for me, it was sports. And from there, everything changed because I feel like I was a better person. I was able to give back to the community so much more in sports than I
Mm.
did in my corporate job. And I had to make a decision. And I know as much as I'm all for following your passion, it's not as simple as that. And I feel like you know how much struggle.
I can relate.
Oh my God. I don't like people who just preach to follow their passion, like because there's so much that need to be taken into consideration.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
for me, if you really think realistically speaking, my corporate
Mm.
job was a safer option, and it is so much more stable on a long term kind of thought process. And now يعني حتى I remember I had someone ask me if mom يعني if I was a mom back then I probably wouldn't have quit my job to follow my. I think it's so important to realize that also like your play a huge in whether you would
Mm.
choose to follow your passion or if you have time to do certain things in your life. فمثلا maybe like it's time for us to kind of like set down what we want to do in our lives and then change our lives accordingly. When I quit my job, I had no responsibility. So if you are watching this and you have nothing except yourself to take care of, this is the best time for you to go and explore. Oh my,
Nice,
go,
exactly.
go and try different things. أحس إن that's what alhamdulillah, I got the opportunity that I'm still able to pursue that kind of freedom to do what I want to do. Uh, Leave space for life to just explore. I think we're so caught up with finding that one. ما في one
Yeah,
thing. والله
yeah.
I've الحين 500 different fields. And it's
So how
I
much
think
did you
that
explore before like getting into parkour?
Oh my God. زين ترى مثل ما قلت لك I was أول شيء in a semi-governmental company working 8 to 8. It wasn't 8 to 5, it was
Yeah.
8 to 8 كل يوم. And then I went to a governmental entity because I was like, it will give me freedom to do what I like. Then I finish قولي 3 o'clock وخلاص. Then I still pursued my own degree, so I did graphic design, صح? So I started a company small packages because you know I'm small and the best thing come in packages. Easy like that.
Nice.
And I freelanced for a while, and then I ended up running marathons فجأة لأن I liked
Nice.
running.
I didn't know that about you. I didn't know you used to run marathons.
I used to run 10K.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to run the Standard Chartered. I used to I love running, and I just did it because I wanted to. It wasn't like a career or anything. It's just it was something I liked doing. I ended up because my sister was in the national basketball team.
Yeah.
I tried even pursuing basketball with her because it was the closest thing that was available to me. Hi man, is there. بس
عم بيقطع صوتك مرات, so like I can't pick up everything.
okay.
You cut it sometimes. Yeah.
So hey, so I had a full-time job. I freelanced in my then I started doing sports just for the sake of trying. I ended up also I started running. I started also vlogging. You saw my.
I need to see some of those videos then.
I thought I was so fun. I was not.
Okay.
It was really, and I was so passionate, like talking about culture and all of that. And I enjoyed it, to be honest.
How did you get into parkour? So, like, how did parkour fall in your world?
So what happened was that I was still in the figuring it out phase of me trying different things, and I ended up finding parkour because my cousin opened a gym. So he started the calisthenics and parkour in the region. And at the time, there weren't any all-lady classes. So it was the first time for me to go to a mixed gym. I never went to a mixed environment then to train. And I remember, alhamdulillah, because my cousin owned the gym, it was a little easier to convince my dad. Yeah.
Nice.
And I told him I just wanted to try the sport. And I told him in the Mafi, there isn't في البلاد any all-lady class. And when I started it really like molded my personality. It was so weird because first of all, it's a sport that requires so much time and discipline. Secondly, it's a sport that forces you to commit to your decisions. So for those who don't know what parkour is, basically you're going from point A to point B in the quickest way while you're overcoming obstacles. So basically an obstacle. And
basically, watch your videos. You trying to jump in and out boxes, and I don't know what. So much happening. I've been seeing that.
And what happened was that it taught me the مثل ما قلت لك commitment, because once you make a decision to jump from one box to the other, you cannot hesitate. You have to give it the obstacle that you're trying to overcome. And the more I worked on it, and it was gradual. I wasn't jumping off of like buildings or something. It was like standing on the ground, building it up. But it forced me to trust myself so much more. I was so more focused because like you have to be so aware of surroundings, understanding spatial differences. So like so many calculation happens in your mind in the sport. You know,
like being a woman in this industry, okay, in the parkour basically, because I don't think it's too big yet in at least the Middle East. What's going on? What kind of obstacles have you faced to be in that domain?
Oh my God, so much. أولاً
طب give us top three.
The first thing is that it's very lonely because there aren't other people pursuing sports as much in the country, women in general.
Yeah.
It's very lonely. I know how you might like feel the same way. All of your ups and downs are on you. People only come to you when you succeed, by the way. They'll be like, oh, mashallah,
Eh, exactly.
the process is very, to be honest, and it needs a lot of resilience and perseverance. If you're not super committed, like sure of what you want to achieve, I don't think you might survive. Not only in this field, but as an entrepreneur in general. يعني.
Okay. So now
Secondly,
tell me. There's more. Okay, go on. Sorry.
secondly is being a woman in a male-dominated field. يعني, we're not taken seriously. I'll be completely honest. يعني. Still, we are seen as يعني, لين حين people think that parkour is my hobby and not my career. And like, I feel like we still belittle how much efforts that women are putting into the athletic field. And I personally, I'm seeing more women taking this like as a profession more than men. So I think it just needs a little nudge for people to see. That's it.
That's two and three.
The third one is now that I'm a mom, I'm much more careful about decisions that I make. قبل كسر إيدي وعادي يلا. But now um, my mindset has shifted about training. It's not all about go, go, go. It's really about like taking a step back and understanding why we train and longevity. Training for long term, not just short term. So yeah.
Okay. طب Amal, I've been seeing you posting a lot of things about mothers, pregnancy, woman training, how to train like a woman. And you've been, one of my favorite posts is that you were calling out on so many coaches, especially men, who doesn't understand the woman's body and start giving out those diets and workouts. So
Yeah.
how to train like a woman.
Firstly, we must understand that as women, we go through monthly changes.
Yeah.
And we all know our menstrual cycle. That's the best and simple way to put it, is that our hormones never stable the whole month. We have 4 weeks in our cycle, and we
Yeah.
go high and high and low. But men, like, it's kind of sad for me to say this, but men stay the same since they hit puberty, maybe until they're in their 60s. Nothing changes. Their
Yeah.
testosterone probably might fluctuate just a little bit, but because they have testosterone, their recovery is faster, their fat loss and weight loss is faster. Everything for them comes easier. And in terms of performance, يعني a lot of people will be like, no, but women and men on a physiological level, women are not the same. And
Exactly.
we don't have enough men who actually take the time to study what kind of changes happen in a woman's month. فمثلا عادي, a woman has trained the same way with the same intensity throughout the month. She realizes that in the third week of the month, her weight increases 2 kilos. I hear a lot of people go like, oh, it's because you've been eating junk or you haven't been training hard. And the woman has. She probably wasn't eating junk. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, the man isn't educated enough to actually understand maybe her estrogen levels are low during that time. So I would really urge men to ask the right questions. If you're coaching women, you have to write down a schedule, see how they are during the month, and plan their workout based on that month. So maybe her can only be, or she can only really see real progress if she trains strength method on week 1 of her cycle. Maybe deload workouts have to happen on her 4th week, but you wouldn't know when her 4th week, 1st week is if you don't write down these information, don't ask the right questions. للأسف in the field that I'm in right now, in women as if they're men, and we're not men. We do
Yeah.
not function the same way. We have much more to keep in mind in terms of hormones. and also in terms of bodily changes, even after menopause. But I think my advice would just be for men and to get educated in that sense, because we really can't train like men. And the only women who can train like men are those who take steroids. I'll be completely honest. The steroids affect, they stop the
Yeah.
period. These are the only people who can be trained like men.
Yeah. What about women? What would you advise women who are training? Let's say not even a man training a woman training a woman who's not even aware of that. Because I see that
I
a
would
lot as
tell
well.
women, I don't feel like again, we have a lot of ego. I see in the fitness world, even with me, by the way. And sometimes I can see it in myself that I have a lot of ego because I don't ask the right questions and I feel like I know everything sometimes.
Look, we're connected. I feel the
same. One of the comments, exactly, even PCOS has a much different set of challenges, which talk to me personally, we can discuss this. But women have a lot of ego because we've reached a point where the fitness world is about getting abs and being pretty. ما في شيء اسمه health. I have post programs coaching people to be better in moving rather than losing the weight to get toned. And that's what sells, يعني. And no one is willing to fix this because it's a money-making business at the moment.
Yeah.
Exactly. Sometimes women, because we feel like looking good is our kind of entitlement. I feel people who look good feel more entitled to give advice on how to look.
But this is how society have shaped our perspective, and this is how it functions, and it's been there since ever. So like breaking through that is tough. But I think you are doing something in that space. What are you doing? How are you trying to like stop that?
Oh my God. So firstly, the most important thing for me is to get educated. I still don't know everything. I don't think I'm ever going to reach a point where I'm going to know everything. But I'm working hard to change my own. Because again, we have to keep in mind that the things that we're learning also will change after a year. So you have to keep being updated with basically with education. And my second step is to spread awareness. I had this conversation with my sister, and she tells me, Amal, you probably won't get enough clients because women don't want to hear they won't get their body back after training. I was like, but they won't get their body
Hang
back.
on, can you repeat that one? شو اسمه.
So I
that grumpy.
My
Like
next
عم بيروح صوتك.
How about now?
So you were saying. Okay, so you were telling your sister something.
Yeah. So my sister said, Amal, and it's true. She's like, Amal, you won't get enough clients because women don't want to hear that they won't get their body back after birth. And I told her, but body back. Your body is not the same. يعني ما في شيء اسمه going back. ما في شيء.
Yeah.
But you can't say it in that way. But I was like, why have we been conditioned to believe that it should be this way? Because it's physically impossible to go back. And I think it's super hard to change the stigma that's behind having scar tissue or having flabs or having, all kinds of like cellulite. Like, since when have these been things to stay minhum? Why? Although we all talk about empowerment and inclusivity and like having everyone involved, I still feel we shame each other on the simplest things.
We still have a very long way to go when it comes to these things. Women themselves don't want to believe that these things are normal and okay, and it's part of our evolution. Evolving, exactly, part of growing up. So I think if I don't know, it's not just educating men, it's definitely educating women as well. Like women need to understand that this is reality and stop buying stuff that are not real, basically.
It's
صح?
crazy. Wallah, صدق.
Yeah. Yeah.
Slowly but surely.
Like, yeah. So now tell me, what does woman empowerment means to you?
Woman empowerment for me is firstly giving a woman enough space to make mistakes, um, giving enough space for a woman to grow, but to also يعني والله for me, okay, the three things: education, women
Yeah.
empowerment through education, through experience, so allow a
Yeah.
woman to experience, and through self growth. So if she goes through the education and the experiences, she's gonna grow. It's a never ending cycle. But for
Yeah.
you to empower, you really just need to let her make the decisions. Basically,
And I
she
think I think we should add on reducing the amount of obstacles because we already have enough obstacles. Given that you said, like for example, fitness, we need to deal with this whole cycle, and we're already going through so much instability, and then we come and we have to deal with more obstacles that has been just put there because you're a woman. I think adding that would be nice as well. Tablekia, given that um, you don't think we're equal, definitely, because you're speaking biologically speaking, نحن we're definitely not equal. So what would gender equality means to you?
gender equality is understanding what makes us different. Firstly,
Nice. Mm,
understanding make us different and how we can work together for a bigger picture. يعني ما في شيء اسمه we're equal 100%. We both will offer different things, not only in a family, but the roles are interchangeable. So don't think that just because you have one role doesn't mean the woman can't take that role. Like I told my husband, sometimes he has to be the mom, sometimes I have to be the dad, and it changes. Good cop, bad cop, but for you to think that there's only one way to go about in terms of what a woman should do and what a man should do, I feel is causing the problem here. It's a collaboration and really just working together for a better cause. That's
nice.
basically it.
Nice. Very well said. Nice.
Yeah.
Tableki, one more. What would you advise young women who are aspiring to get into parkour?
You patience first of all. Secondly, enjoy. People only want to do crazy things and want to learn tricks, but I swear I enjoy the failures so much more than me actually getting a move. So enjoy the process and enjoy making mistakes. And remember, it's about the journey, really. Literally, the
Mm,
parkour is about the journey, not about all of
nice.
the things you've overcome.
Nice. Okay, Amal, that was lovely catching up with you. A lot of insights, a lot of great content. And I'll leave you for you to enjoy your evening with your little daughter. And I'll speak to you soon.
Take care.
انت
يلا.
كمان.